Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me for Singapore FinTech Festival coverage is Dion Thorpe, Senior Manager of Enterprise Data with AIA Singapore, to discuss key themes from the conference and trends in data and artificial intelligence. Dion, it's great to meet you virtually. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you very much, Jill. Thanks for having me.
What have been your biggest takeaways from the festival or some of your favorite speakers?
Yeah, sure. I think the Singapore FinTech Festival has done a fantastic job this year, getting some amazing leaders from around the world. One of my biggest sort of takeaways, I mainly focused on the leadership track, and really enjoyed the interview with Bill and Satya talking about sort of the future and what they're seeing at the current time during the pandemic, I guess. And for me, sort of the collaboration, the constant learning, and the productivity tools and everything that's out there now that I guess Microsoft have developed over this time, but they're continuing to develop, were some of the key things that I really enjoyed listening to and understanding sort of where sort of the world's going at the moment.
What are you seeing in Singapore and in your broader company from when you think about digitalization, data, and the AI perspective?
Yeah, sure. So I think Singapore was quite fantastic in the sense that when they saw this pandemic breaking out, they actually got a bunch of incentives into the community to make sure that people are upskilling themselves. So if people were displaced from an employment perspective, they were ensuring that those people were trained up in the future for when we do come out of this pandemic and be more digitally savvy and have new career opportunities. Those people that are actually in employment at the moment, but may not be in such a sort of technical or digital field, they also offered a lot of incentives for sort of staff within companies as well. So I think Singapore's done a fantastic job around sort of future-proofing themselves, so when we do come out of this. And then sort of internally, I guess, in my company in AIA, what we've noticed is we're training up a lot more people as well. So you had those people that were traditionally maybe not as savvy, but they're now being trained up a lot with some of these incentives from the government, but a lot of the sort of incentives and things that we're doing internally as well to train up those staff so that they're more digitally savvy with data analytics and also AI in the future. Yeah.
And Dion, where do you see data and analytics in the next few years and the changes that are required by companies to remain competitive for further success? Because we've seen a lot of advancements, but to me, it feels like we're still in early innings. There's some room to grow here.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, like, for me, I'm really excited by sort of the IoT, the 5G, blockchain, those kind of technologies that are coming and what that means for us. I work in data, obviously, and for me, that means there's going to be a lot more work in the future, and there's going to be a lot more people that are required in order to sort of assist in understanding all of this data that's coming through. So I guess for me, from an education piece, I think we're going to have to move a lot of the people that maybe may not have been sort of data type people and get them into more data type roles so that we can understand all this data that's coming off of all these tools and the Internet of Things and that kind of thing. And so I think what we'll see in the future is more and more of people transforming their careers into this, and we really need that because there's going to be so much more data. And then as well, I guess internally with us at AIA, we're really building out digital tools for staff internally, but also for customers as well. So I guess like a lot of organisations around the world at the moment, they've had to digitalise quite rapidly, and we're already on that journey, but this has really accelerated that. So offering tools to our agents that are actually selling the product so that they can understand their customers better on their mobile phones or on their cell phones, and making sure that they are fully aware of around their customers and how they're going at any given time. And then as well from the customer as well. So if they're having an experience with us, they're going through a process with us, they can actually use that application on their cell phone and then understand where they're at and interact in their own time rather than having to do it in the sort of specific times when a branch or something like that may be open. So I think we're seeing this digital transformation for a lot of people, and we're using sort of AI to be able to sort of feed more and more information to our agents and our customers to make their lives a success and a lot easier, I guess. Yeah.
All right, Dion, we appreciate the insight. Thanks so much for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.